25, 55, 85, the God in you can still be a good leader. If you're a businessman, CEO, banker, whatever you are, bus driver, you and I can be a good leader. Again, welcome to our Leadership and Demand, because there is a demand for your leadership. I need you to believe that. There is a demand for your leadership. So in the feed, I'm going to talk to you real quick and put in the feed, said there is a demand for me. Just say, there is a demand for me. Come on. There is a demand for me. Why do I say that? Why say that, Dr. Levi? Because there is a God in you that's producing some out of you. So there is something in each one of you on the feed right now that we need. All of you on this feed, we need something from you. So right now, tell on the feed that there is a demand for me. There's a demand for your good. There's a demand for your leadership. And it does not matter the construct you're in. There is a demand for your leadership. Thank you, Brittany. I see you, Alexis, Mitch. I see you, Grace. I see you, Renee. Come on. There is a demand for me. If you don't know there is a demand for you, you will hide, or you will give excuses on why you're not stepping out or stepping up, or even being silent when your leadership is needed. Now, and we're not saying this from an arrogant standpoint. Well, we understand that being arrogant is sinful, I guess, sometimes. But your confidence should almost smell like arrogance, because the God in you is what I'm talking about. I get that from the truth that I live under. I'm like my brother Paul. He said, I understand what's happening in me. It's all the grace of God. So if I believe the grace of God is effective in me, I gotta say there is a demand for me. There's a demand for my leadership and a demand for your leadership. Just a quick recap. You know, last week I gave you guys that book, the book by called The End of Leadership, The End of Leadership. By Barbara Kellerman. That is why I think it is so paramount and so important that we have good leadership. I'm talking about extraordinary leadership. I got something from, how you doing, Alexis? How you doing, Cindy, Lanira, Joanne, Simone? I see you guys out there. Listen, Deacon Jack, listen. One of my guys said something to me that was in the podcast last week, and we was just talking about being exceptional. And I told him I was going to give him a shout out. He said it, but I stole it. I'm a big stealer, and I would steal a quote from you. If you quote it, I said you said it, and then I turn around and say it myself. But one of my guys, my Minister Lamont Golden, he said this right here. He said, to everybody want to be exceptional. If you want to be exceptional, you got to do the exceptional things. That was good. Somebody need to read it. Just repeat that and give Lamont credit for it, or give me credit. If you want to be exceptional, you got to do what is required of us to be exceptional. This platform tonight is not for the faint of heart. I come at you that there is a demand on your leadership, because I love leadership. I took a class, about an 18-month class from Notre Dame and on leadership at the executive level. It was all us, because I want to be the best leader that I'm able to be with God's strength. Now, again, let's go to work. I want you to repeat for me, I am a builder. In the feed, say, I am a builder. I am a builder. In the feed right now, put I am a builder. The reason I say that, because that's who I am. I build leaders, and that comes to transformation. If you don't have the intent to change lives while you're doing what you do, you can make money. I get that. You can get more degrees. I get that. But if your intent is only about you, come on now, we are called with all the good to better our community, better our children, better our society. It cannot be a narcissistic leader here now. You got to be, because that's why the book was written, The End of Leadership. We have to get to a place where, what are we doing? Why am I doing what I do? I know I'm called to build. And so you're connected to this leadership and demand. That's what we do. We build people for the betterment and not for the word. I love y'all feedback on this feed. Now let's go to work. Give me one word in the feed again before we get to this R.A.R.E. leadership. I'm coming. Before we talk about R.A.R.E. leadership tonight, because this is going to be a real good one. Give me one word again that defines leadership to you. You gave me a bunch of them last week. I love y'all dialogue in the feed right now. Give me one word that defines leadership. Come on, let's go to work, guys. Give me some feedback. For those that weren't on the call last week, let's bring them up to speed. Give us one word that defines leadership. I love it. Support. I love it. I love mixed support. Give us another word that defines, I like accountability. I love it. Influence, integrity, example, relationship. Humble, management, integrity, builders. I love it. Accountability, servant, initiative. Y'all on the fire tonight. I love empowerment, guidance. Look at these words, defining leadership. Someone put in the feed influence, but also put influence. Someone there you go, communication, caring. These are great words defining leadership. And I love your definition because based on your construct, based on where you are and how you view it through your vision, that's what you see leaders. So guess what? Because you're defining that as a leader, that's what you look from a leader. That's what you expect from a leader. Sometimes, as Ashley said last week, sometimes what you're expecting from someone, you're not going to get. You may know what to look for, but you're not going to get. And sometimes because you have to adapt in your leadership, because they're not giving you what you think and what a leader should be. Last week we talked, and I'm going to give you a quote from John Maxwell. He said, "The pessimists complain about the wind, but the optimists expect it to change. The leader adjusts to the sail." See? The leader adjusts to the sail. The leader adjusts to, I love the word, influence, integrity, decisive, goodness, visionary, humility, powerful word here. Now, let's talk about our homework. Right? Look at Crow. Crow, I love this, bro. Adapt and overcome. Man, I can start right now and just do a study on the adapt and overcome. Look at here. Last week we talked about the mastering your craft of your leadership. And one thing you said, your ability you got to master is the holistic of taking care of yourself. And we said last week there were 3 areas that we wanted to make sure that we took care of. I gave you guys homework. It was emotionally, your body, and spirit. I gave you guys, we were 7 days from each other. I want somebody to give me something that they did emotionally. Did you read a book? You take time, get a massage, took a walk? Come on, drop in the feed if you was involved in the homework this week. Tell me something that you did that we all can see and learn from, because some of you guys may not have time. You guys, listen, you got to take care of yourself emotionally. So give me some of the things you guys did last week, last 7 days, that you on homework now, that you did from an emotional standpoint. You take a break for yourself. You just take the phone, put the phone down for 5 minutes. Come on, let's talk on the feet. Tell me what. Somebody got a pedicure and a massage. Oh, my Lord. They got therapy. Oh, I love it. They took a walk. I love it. They signed up for mom wellness check. Listen to more. I love the music and deep breathing exercise. Went on a walk 3 times a week. That was a beautiful. Went to bed early intentionally. Thank you, Brittany. Pedicure. Got off Facebook. Oh, my goodness. Slept in on Saturday. I love how you guys are being intentional about your emotional intelligence. Now, this is going to be important as we get to this R.A.R.E. leadership. We're going to dive into that. I updated and framed my vision board. Wow. I went to sleep. Less time on social media. Good. Listen, now tell me some of the things you did with your body. Now, some of you guys did both because you walked. That walk and exercise, you did 2 things with body and emotion. Give us some things that you did with your body. Now, you don't have to go to the gym, but just something you did with your body. Just maybe you guys didn't, you guys walked to the mailbox, I don't know, or you parked out farther in your car and you walked just to get your heart rate up, or you just did aerobic exercise. Give me some things you did. I like how you, Renee said she walked on the treadmill. Come on, give me some of that you guys did with your body. I love what Sim saying. He said, I drunk more water. That's it. That's your body. You taking intake right. I made that effort to drink more water. I like that, Ashley. Tawana did a fasting that involved your body. Renee said, I parked. I parked a long way from the Walmart. Since I take a self-inventory and make an intentional adjustment. I kept me hydrated. Someone said they took the stairs and they exercised. God, this is beautiful. All right, now, what do you do spiritually? Now, I understand there are folks on my feed who may not be in the same construct with me. I believe in Jesus Christ. I love to read the Bible. I pray. I meditate. But tell me something you did spiritually. You may watch the service. I don't know. Tell me something you did that took care of your spiritual man. That makes sure you're connected with the one that put the goods in you. That could be you watch podcasts. You could be watching the service online. I don't know. Tell me. Or you went to church. I don't know. You prayed last. You prayed more. Tell me something you did spiritually the last 7 days that helped you. Somebody says on the feed. So let's go. Tell me something you did spiritually to help you. And somebody said I read my devotion, demanded myself to read more of the Word. I like that. I studied the Bible at home with my husband. Those are spiritual things that you guys are doing. Because remember, we talk about the holistic. I read the Bible and I watched, listened to Building You Now podcast. I wrote in my prayer journal. Look at you guys. I'm proud of you guys. Prayed more in the Bible study with my son. I given it to God. Now look at Mr. Grove, giving it to God. Listen, I checked out the Christian talk show. Also went in person to church. Okay, I watched it online. I listened to the Christian. Listen, I like how you guys doing what you're doing to make sure your spirit. Now, what we did is holistic approach of life. Now, I love that you guys, there are some do more than others. I'm right now, you're saying, Pastor, what do you do? Let me tell you what I do. I went to the chiropractor last week. I got my massage, got my body adjusted a little bit. Of course, I pray every morning. I'm in prayer. I listen to my pastor on his podcast and stuff like that. I read my devotion, and I go to the gym. Went to the gym 3 times last week because I realize I'm also on a raw vegetable and fruit diet. Pray for me, please. Don't do this. Let you ready to do this because I had to break off those sweets for a little bit. So to do that, I put myself on a vegetable and raw vegetable and fruit diet, and I eat fish or chicken to help myself do better. All right, now, as we go into this teaching for the day, we did 15 minutes talking to each other. We now really jump to this teaching for the day. Before we jump in, let's look at Matthew 25 and 26 that we used last week. When they would ask Jesus about being in charge and authority. And Jesus did a juxtaposition, guys, of what leadership is in his thought and what the world gave him. He did a juxtaposition of what the world defined as leadership and what he sees as leadership. He said, Jesus called the apostles and said, you know that the rulers of the nation have absolute power over people, and their officials have absolute authority over people. That was almost that was like slavery. You drive. Do what I say do because I say do it. But Jesus said, but that's not the way we do things. He said, if you're going to be, and then he said, but that's not the way it's going to be among you. Whosoever want to be good, become great, I mean large in its widest sense, among you, you must be a servant. You must find a way to serve people. You must see leadership as it's an honor to lead. Listen, I lead people. I lead church. I lead my family. I get that. I don't hoard when I say my family, my church, here's what I'm saying. I know people are saying, well, that's God's church. I get that. It is God's church. But if you don't see it as your church, it's from a protective standpoint. Leaders, when you say the word my, you see it from a protective responsibility. Because if you don't see it as my, you won't take the responsibility to lead it. Come on now. You got to always see it as my classroom. I saw an educator on here. It's my classroom. I saw a bus driver on here. It's my bus. I saw someone who served in ministry. That's your ministry. See it as mine, but from a responsibility Basically, you're having responsibility of what God has put in your hand. So you understand when you say my, you're not saying it like the other ones, like I got this. No, you're like, I'm honored that I get to serve. I get to lead. That's a whole different disposition of what God is talking about. And that's why I love leadership so much, because you get to help people become better and push people forward. Now, let's go to work. I want to make sure as a leader, as I go tonight, I want to unleash the leader in you. Not just any leader, but a leader that builds and transforms lives for the betterment. I want you better. I want your team, I want your wife, family better. And I want to make sure that we understand before we get in R.A.R.E leadership, in the feed right now, tell me position of leadership that you see. Now, you can say pastor, that's fine. But I want us to break down some positions of leadership. And I don't want us to be myopic. When I mean myopic, don't just talk about what you see on TV. You should go to a classroom and see someone like a cheerleader who, I want to go that low. I want to go all the way to the house and define what a leader position is. Let's talk real quick. I'm gonna put pastor on mine. Okay, put pastor. And now you go to work. Put mom, put dad, put bro, whatever. Let's go to work. Put in the feed right now a position of a leader to you. And then we're gonna jump in to what is rare, what make you rare though. All right? Put in the position right now in the feed, and then we're gonna talk about R.A.R.E, what make you rare. What make there you go, a father, a husband, a parent, a mother. These are leaders, guys, because you just can't be way out there. I want to get all the way down to the small part of what leadership. Peer advocate, there you go. These are leadership. Come on now, give me more. Supervisor, father, husband, leadership, an older brother, younger, a pastor, a grandmother. That's it. These are leadership. Parent. If you don't see this, that's it. You got to define. You just don't. There you go. Minister, a therapist, a leader. Listen, a director support staff, supervisor, teacher, mentor, manager, love that role model. Bus driver. I love it. A person with wisdom. I love advisor, businessman, woman. These are leaders. If you don't see yourself or define it, you excuse yourself not to do it. You know, in the room, if everybody's doing wrong and you're the only one that do right, you're the leader for the day. You are the leader for the day. Now, I'm going to jump in this R.A.R.E leadership. I'm going to tell you a funny joke. My friend of mine, one time, I probably shouldn't tell it right now, but we went out one time, and they wanted to go to the club, and I was the only one who wasn't drinking. And so I wasn't drinking and driving at that time. I wasn't drinking and driving, so I was on one. I was the designated driver. Now, God, I know my platform I'm on, and I know I shouldn't be talking about alcohol and getting drunk. I get that. But I'm trying to help you lead, okay? So they asked me, they said, where you go? I said, I don't want to go. I can't go to the club with y'all tonight. I don't want to do this. Now, I knew all of them going to get drunk. All of them going to get drunk, and somebody going to jail. I tell you what, I drove. They went to the club. They did the thing. And I drove back. I didn't drink, then I drove back. Now, I took the lead. Now, yes, you're like, but you helped them get drunk. I hear what you're saying. I can hear your feedback either way. But what you prefer me to do? Let them die and go and somebody go to jail? Or just take the lead? Now, I can argue. No, I'm going to take the lead. Now, of course, I wasn't in church like I am now, but even thinking back then, that's leadership. You're the only one in the room, no leadership. Step up to the plate. Now, let's go to work. This book right here by Marcus Warner and Jim Wilder. They're going to show you guys this book. I know it's kind of hard to see. They're going to show you this book called R.A.R.E Leadership. And I'm just going he broke down the acronym on R.A.R.E leadership. And he gave 4 uncommon habits for the increasing of trust, joy, and engagement. 4 uncommon habits for increasing trust, joy, and engagement. And he used R.A.R.E, R-A-R-E, as the acronym. Because what we're about to talk about tonight, guys, is R.A.R.E. I'm going to tell you. If you're on this call tonight, what I'm about to talk about tonight, I'm telling you, it is R.A.R.E. Everybody's fighting for position. Everybody's talking about, look at me and me. Narcissist, all this hedonism. What I'm about to talk about tonight is R.A.R.E. Why are you on the leadership in the man feed? Because you're R.A.R.E. And we're gonna attract people to this feed because they're R.A.R.E in their leadership. Listen, is trust important to you? Is joy important to you? I'm asking you, is trust important to you? Is joy important to you? Is engagement important to you? Here's why I asked that question. Leaders now don't care if you trust them no more. No more trust is relieving. People are running over people. They're leading people from fear. That's not leadership. We want to engage people and lead people out of love. Now, we want to get this stuff done, but it shouldn't be out of fear or demanding. So let's go to this R. Let's deal with the R. I want you guys to write in the feed. Somebody that's on the page tonight. Somebody got on the back side hit me with this R. The R stands for remain relational. Remain relational. Come on. Come on, somebody put in the feed from remain relational. That's what R stands for. And in any relationship, especially the work that I do, I always have to deal with people. I always have to, the job I'm in is all about people. So I must remain relational. Now, when he say remain relational, you want the folks around you to feel like they belong. That's what he's saying. You want the folks around you to feel like they belong. It can't be all about you and what you run. You're over. Your children, if you want to get them to do something for you, they first must feel like they belong to the family. If you want somebody to respond to you well, they must feel like they're part of the team. If you can't just walk over people, you got to have a relationship with people. And I know at different levels, different platforms, CEOs, some stuff we don't have a relationship because we so far from each other. But we can't dismiss this part of R.A.R.E. leadership where we don't lead people out of fear. We don't get stuff done. If you don't do this, I'm going to fire you mentality. That's broken relationship. You can get more out of people if they feel like they belong to the team. How many of you guys have faced this issue right now in your construct where you didn't feel like you belong? Come on, let's talk to me. How many of you have been in construct where you didn't feel like you belonged to the team, that, so you just did enough and went home? You did enough just to get by, because you don't want to be fired. You don't want to be fired. You don't want to be let go. You walking out of fear. See, that's danger. R.A.R.E. leadership is, the first R is, we want relation. We try to remain relational. So even if I have to let someone go from my team, come on now, it's not because they haven't. I didn't do my part to make sure they felt like they belong to the team. We work with you. We try to push you through. So if I have to let you go, you can't say I didn't do my part. Relational. Remain relational. Now, let's go to number 2. That's number 2. Let's go to the A. Let's go to the A. A is act like yourself. Have you ever been around people that wear masks all the time? They just wear a mask all the time. You don't know what you're going to get. Let's have fun a little bit. Have you guys ever had a boss that you don't know whether they're up or down? Like schizophrenic. You walk in the room one day, they're happy. You come in the room next day, they just is somewhere else, just somewhere else. You know why they do that? They wear a mask, or there's something that triggers them that cause an emotion that they not balance. When they say act like yourself, it's like identifying with yourself, knowing who you are. So when my people, I try my best to act like myself. I act like my wife, there's one thing, I get that. I'm talking about in the room, they get to see the side of my emotions. They get to see that side of me where they're okay with telling me something in my response. I don't wear a mask, or I don't hide away from trouble. I act like myself. If I don't like something, they're going to know it. They're going to know I don't like something. If I like something, they're going to say, I like that. That's pretty good. I don't mask it up, put perfume on it, put cologne on it to make it smell good. Now, this is a learned behavior. This is a learned behavior now, because you have to work on this. Act like yourself. Some of us put on masks to get through jobs. We put on masks to get through pain. We put on masks to get through different. Now, if you are there, I understand. But we shouldn't live there. That's why the holistic approach of you taking care of yourself is important. If you're not getting yourself, your emotion, where you're not getting stuff out, where you're not getting massages, staying in shape, working out, getting your heart rate up, eating, drinking right, I'm telling you, you won't act like yourself. You'll wear a mask, you'll hide away, and then one day we'll find out this is not the leader I thought I knew. Now, they ain't got to know all your secrets, but you should be at least enough transparent that you can identify with my pain. It's hard to lead me and you don't identify with my pain. So he's saying R is remain relational, and A, act like yourself. Now, don't act like you're to beat that kind of stuff, but your emotional self. Who are you? Are you getting better with yourself? Can you relate to my pain? Do you understand my pain? Act like yourself. This is a good book. Y'all, I'm telling you, this book is real good if you can get it. He made a joking comment about a possum leader. A possum leader, I'm like, man, now you're having fun. A possum leader, guys. A possum leader always hide. He pretend to be something. He pretend to be dead. When it's time to leave, you don't act like it. That's possum leader. When it's time to step up, the only reason you want to leave is when the sun's shining, but you don't want to leave when it's raining. That's what I say, act like yourself. All right, let's go to R. R, we got a few more minutes. At 15 more minutes, you got 15 more minutes. You got to ask questions. R. Here's the R. Return to joy. All right. The first R is remain relational. The second R is act like yourself. So the first R is help people belong. The second R is identity. They can identify with you. Okay. Now the A is act like yourself. They can identify with you. There's another R, R.A.R.E, is return to joy. Return to joy. Now listen, guys. This is a good one for me. I want to take my time with this. This is why your emotional intelligence is powerful here. Is anybody on the feed that don't get upset? Is there anybody? If you say no, we need to have therapy. You need therapy for real. Need therapy. Now, because all of us get angry, all of us get mad, all of us get sad. Okay. Now, the thing is right here. The question is, as a leader, you're gonna get upset. As a leader, you're gonna get mad. As a leader, you're gonna be sad. The question I have for you, leader, how well do you recover? How well do you recover? A fake leader who don't act like themselves will deny their pain. Admit you're upset about that. Admit you don't like that. It's okay. But the question is, your teammates need to see you recover well. Because if I feel like I belong to the team, I can identify with you. I also understand you don't stay in this place of loneliness by yourself. You're good at recovering well. And it's good, parents, when your children can see you recover well. It is good, leader, when your people can see you recover well. They're like, yeah, she's angry, but watch her. Watch. She won't live that long. She won't stay in that spot long. Because when you stay in a place too long, you need emotional wellness. Because as a leader, you're going to get upset. Let's stop playing those games. As a leader, somebody's going to tick you off. As a leader, you're going to get mad. As a leader, your children are going to make you so upset, you're going to want to order their minds. I get that. But how well do you recover? Do you stay mad for 2 weeks? Come on now. Do you get mad and stay in your office for a whole year? Come on now. That means you don't recover well. As a leader, that's why this is called R.A.R.E. leadership. Because leaders pout like children. And even though I don't care how you are on the food chain of leadership, if you're not emotionally well or keeping yourself emotionally healthy, you will act like a child in your emotions. So when things hit you, you run and hide, or you pout, you whine, want to be the victim all the time. No, leaders. I need you to recover well. That is returning to joy. Because it's one thing to lead, it's something else to lead in pain. Man, I want to run here. It is hard to lead people in pain. It's hard. Now, there are times we lead and bleed. I get that. but we should be having a place where we recover. We got to recover well. Now, a lot of us are not bouncing back fast enough. Some of us, and I get that, some pain lasts longer than others. I get that. Some things take 2 weeks to recover. Some things take 5 weeks to recover. Some things take a year based on how hard you got hit. But those you're leading, though, should see you making the process, come on now, of recovering well. In the feed right now, put recover well. I feel I need to have a conversation with y'all real quick. Right now on the scale of 1 to 10, how well do you recover? I mean, can we be honest tonight? Can we act like ourselves tonight? Some of you guys just stay mad too long. But can we be honest tonight and talk about how well do we recover? I'll be honest. y'all going to work. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I mean, where are you? Now, I promise you, I used to be a straight 4. It took me a long time to get back. I'm better now. I try to keep myself between 7 and 8, that level. Now, my people may judge me differently. Like, Pastor, you tell you, I don't know. my kids may judge me different. But give me your number. What's your number? You said, I'm a work in progress, Pastor. Dr. Levi, I am a work in progress. You make me mad, it's going to probably take me about 2 weeks if I talk to you again. I'm not trying to make you be friends with someone. But your reality is your reality, because here's what we don't want to do. We don't want to walk over pain as if pain don't exist. That's what we're not going to do. If I'm upset about something, my folks going to know it. They're going to know it. Now, we get a job done, but they're going to know I don't like something. But now, it should be 3 weeks before I text them. It should be 5 weeks before I talk to them again. No, I'm like, no, I don't like that. We're going to deal with that. Give me a minute. Let me get in my office. Let me deal with that. I come back. Because it's not about forgiveness. Now, let's get that out of our head. You can forgive someone immediately, but it takes time for you emotionally. I said it again on my own I give myself a 10. You can forgive someone immediately, but your emotion may take time to get back. So you got to be honest with yourself. I don't like what has happened to me. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like our bank account. I don't like the numbers that our staff is bringing in right now. I don't like how we're growing right now. It's irking me. It's bothering me. Admit your feelings to it, but don't swim in it. Don't you swim in that. Strategize. Put a plan together, and let's make things happen. Which lead us to number. I want to talk a number game. It leads us to our last acronym, E. R.A.R.E. This means endure well. If you're going to return, because see, R is trying to get us to return back to joy. Because I'm telling you, there are going to be tough times in my life, I get that, but you want to always lead in joy. I like what I do. Now, liking what I do don't mean it don't get tough sometimes. Anytime you deal with people, it's going to be rough. Because people got attitudes and personalities. Something you can't change. But I got to make sure I'm aligned, that I return to joy, that I continue to lead in joy. I'm not going to let the devil trap me to lead in pain or lead in fear, where I'm scared to tell people what to do, because I'm afraid they're going to quit. Those days gone. I'm going to turn to joy. I'm going to lead in joy. I'm going to tell you what to do. If you don't like what I said do, we're so close to each other, I can also tell you bye. That's relationship. Because you didn't do what I told you to do. But I'm not going to walk around my premises and my house and things I'm leading and walking on eggshells because I'm afraid to tell you what to do. No, ma'am. No, sir. That's not leadership. That's why it's called rare leadership. This kind of leadership is rare. Last one, endure well. Using hard times for growth and opportunity. I like this one. Using hard times for growth and opportunity. You see, it's one thing when I got kids, I got a family, I got that. And we go through hard times. People have died in our family. Kids got stuff going in school. We've all had those places where they gone through hard times or they dealt stuff that affected the whole family, affected the whole church, affected our community, affected our business. And they really didn't mean to it, but it didn't go right. Wouldn't it be good if we come alongside them and say, we'll get through this together? That's the greatest thing you can say to your children, mom and dad. When they don't do stuff you don't think they should do, you return the joy by saying, you know what? We can't change what has happened. But you know what we're going to do? What we are going to do, we're going to get through this part together. No, I didn't do it, but we're going to get back together. We're going to endure well. See, you're showing them something. You're in leadership. You're grabbing them. There are times when I was in the military, when I was in the military and the Navy, our captain was get on the, they call it 1MC, I forgot what they call that thing, over the ship, and he would say, here's what is going to happen. And we all listened and we responded. And then there was time where he leave the top of the ship, which we call with the helms and all that stuff at. He come down to the deck where we were at. And there are times he'll come sit with us, and because we were about to go through some rough seas, and he'd sit beside us and say stuff like, I'm paraphrasing now, you know what? We're going to get through this together. Because I felt something up there. There was time I got to stand and say, people, here's what we're going to do. But there are times I got to come off my steps and sit down beside my people and say, guys, we're going to get through this together. We're going to get through this together. We're going to strategize a plan, and we're going to get through this together. That's enduring well. Guys, let me tell you something. What I'm talking about tonight is rare leadership. We don't see this much no more. We don't, because everybody's trying to step over everybody. Everybody wants us to follow them on Facebook. Everybody's trying to die. And what people are doing now, indirectly, they're trying to magnify what they got going on to make what others got going on seem like it's nothing. That is not good either. That's why tonight what we're talking about is rare leadership. And I believe in you. I believe in you tonight. Harvard Business Review, and I love Harvard Business Review, called this thing opposite of rare leadership. He called it sandbox leadership. Sandbox leadership, for those that are older than me know what sandbox leaders are grown-ups in the position of responsibility who lack the emotional maturity to create catastrophic consequences for their unsuspected followers. In other words, they're in high position, but they act so immature in their emotion. Those are sandbox leaders. They act like children, even though they're in the position of leadership. Listen, you and I say are rare leadership. If you believe that you are a rare leader, put in the feed rare. Let's put in the feed real quick. Put R.A.R.E. Put R.A.R.E. in the feed. Put R.A.R.E. in the feed. Put rare. Because I believe in you. You are a good leader. But I need all of us right now. Put R.A.R.E. If you're driving, don't put nothing. Just hear us. But if you are a rare leader, I got 5 minutes left. If you believe that you are a rare leader, it's okay to say rare. Because what I'm asking you to do tonight, what we're challenging you to do in leadership in demand, is going to be rare. It's going to be against the current of what they call leadership. Not saying everybody's bad leadership, not saying we're the best in the world. But I trust people who lead well, and I got a standard of leadership that I live by. It's the Word of God, and it's tied into others who are leading and doing this well. Did you guys enjoy this tonight? This rare leadership. It was John Quincy Adams that said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I believe you are a leader tonight. Listen, I want to give you guys a few minutes to ask questions on this page tonight. But before we get into that, I want to give you 2 things to do. Make sure you jump on our Facebook group page, Leadership in Demand. We put together a Leadership in Demand Facebook group where I'm going to be dropping in nuggets weekly or daily. Some of my guys drop in. You can drop in nuggets, leadership. Once you get in there, you can get quotes and drop them in yourself. You'll get all the information about as Leadership in Demand grow. You can grow with us. So get that. Hey, when you get off, make sure you go ahead, go to Facebook, put in Leadership in Demand, and ask to be a part of the group. We're going to make sure you are in a part of that group. Some of my guys are saying from last week, some of my business leaders around the world, like Pastor Levi, Dr. Levi, what you did last week is so blessed. How can we bless you? Listen, I'm not asking for nothing, but if you get off tonight, you want to bless us, listen, my team is here. I bless them. They are here working with me to make this happen. If you want to give toward us tonight, that's fine. They're going to show you how to give through Cash App, how to find me on Cash App. If you choose, there's no consequence on that. If you want to, that is my Cash App. I like my guys. They love what they do. We love what I do because we lead, because we love God's people. But before we get off, I want to answer your question tonight. Do you have any questions for me on what I've taught tonight, the last session, this session? Do you love leadership in the man? Do you want me to bring it back once a month? Let me know on the feed right now. If you got questions right now on the feed, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to ask me questions tonight. Question, if you are the leader, but something happens where you look like less of a leader, how do you return, to the state of leadership and have others follow you? Listen, all of us have been here, Renee. I ain't going to say all of them. I know I have. We've done things, said things that embarrass our leadership. And that's the trick of the enemy, to make you less. Yes, what a great leader does, you admit to it, and then you step forward. Now, you step forward in confidence, but respect others and their decisions. See, real leaders admit they're wrong, but they don't stay there. They then move out of there and walk in confidence because, yes, if it come up, yes, I admit I messed that mistake. But here, moving forward, I choose to move different because what you decide to do is to return to joy. Return to joy always also is involving you being the leader God's called you to be as a mom, dad, supervisor, whatever it is. Good leaders bounce back well because they don't hide from what they've done or fear. So I encourage you, step into your leadership role, be bold in it, but also humble at the exact same time. Another question, what do you do with a coworker that has great seniority, but they don't want to lead, and they don't want you to lead either? Now that's buffoonery, number one. I don't understand why anyone would do that. And what it does show us, Lanier, like I think Ashley asked the same kind of question last week, you have to ask yourself, God, what are you doing in me? Because I know how to lead, and I know what to expect from leaders, but God, what are you doing in me and through me? It is a tough place to be, guys, to be under bad leadership. And then they want us to question your leadership. You have to ask God, if God put you there, allowed you to be there, that's something in you God is raising out of you. Yes, we can be all spiritual, you can pray, I get that. But what is God birthing in Lanier in that disposition, in that place? That wasn't, because something in you got to come out of you in this. And I must admit, when I have been under bad leadership before. I'm talking about horrible. And I was out like, Lord, what do you want me to do? I had two decisions to make. Either I gotta leave this place, or I stay here, pray through it, and let God birth something out of me. Now, I lasted them. They left, but that was my construct. But also, God raised something out of me. I'm telling you, I'm loving leadership because there are a lot of bad leadership I've been involved in that now I have a passion for it and want the best leadership. So I pray for you that if we have these bad leadership roles, but now don't let them lose who you are. Just know who you are and allow God to continue to move you up in what you got to do in Him. So I hope that helped you. Wow, I admit to wrong and step forward. Thank you, Val. Okay. Culture, accountability, I love it. Yeah, Ashley, I said the same thing, Ashley. That was the question Lanier last week. Because there was a champion in all of you. But remember, the goal of the enemy is to quest or steal the champion inside of all of you guys. I believe in you. That's why there is demand. Listen, when there is a demand for something, guess what the enemy want to do? Make you quiet and go away. Because what he wants to do is keep bad leadership sounding like. Because listen, when any good leader fall, well, not a good leader, when any leader fall, like let's say a pastor. I also pastor, so let's say a pastor make a mistake. When a pastor make a mistake, there's a ride brush for all pastors. All pastors. They'll say stuff like, well, that's why I don't go to church, call all of them bad. Well, we know that's a lie. We know it's a lie. But what they do, they take a brush of all of us and say, well, that's bad leadership. When you got bad presidents, so that's why all presidents crooked. I mean, so we gotta rise above that. We know that everybody ain't crooked. But what make bad stuff look bad is good stuff. I'm going to give you this quote and give you this comment and get out of here. Listen, I love what the Federal Reserve does. Federal Reserve, you guys that know I'm about to say that I heard me say before, Federal Reserve does not examine counterfeit money. They just know what good money look like. I say it again. The Federal Reserve don't have to look for counterfeit money. They just know what good money looks like. So when counterfeits show up, it sticks out. See, rare leadership and good leadership, I'm telling you, you ain't got to look for bad leadership. If we continue for good leadership, bad leadership will stick out. We just got so much compromising leadership, we don't know what to look for no more. But now you got a standard set that your good leadership is going to stand out. Listen, guys, did you enjoy this tonight? If you would, clap your hand, give me some clappy thumbs up, the guy, give us some dancing music out of here. Some dancing music. If you enjoyed this, if you want us to bring this back monthly, just give me some ideas when you want to bring it back. Again, go to our Facebook group, Leadership and Demand. And guys, it's about to explode. We're going to have subscriptions. We're going to have podcasts coming up. So if you enjoyed tonight, give us a lot of hand claps. We got to cut the more hand claps I get, the more I bring it back and do it for you. I love you, and I believe in the leader in you because you are a rare leader. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Go to our page. If you still want to give to me or give to us, God, they'll put it up for you guys. As they go off, they'll put the giving slide up for you guys. If you decide if this bless you, let's bless somebody. All right. Thank you, guys. Share this page with somebody. Share this. Don't keep it to yourself. And they'll put everything you need from our Facebook group to our Cash App. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.